Hey guys, it's Hayden.
And I'm Emma. Welcome back to our channel. Today we are talking about episode 4 of The Mandalorian.
So good.
Such
good.
a great show. Another fantastic episode. Cannot fault this.
They just can't go wrong. They can't put a foot wrong.
Yeah, they are doing brilliantly.
As soon as the credits roll, we just want more.
We just want more. I hate waiting a week.
Oh, it's torture of the best kind.
This is such a fantastic series. If you haven't watched it yet...
What are you doing here on an episode 4 review?
Get off this because we're going to be talking about spoilers.
Going straight into spoilers.
Yes, so but go on Disney Plus right now and start watching The Mandalorian if you haven't, because it is fantastic. It is very quickly creeping up on that top favourite shows.
Yeah, I think I said that last review, and it's, still kind of creeping up there into my top 5. It's that good.
It is amazing.
Yeah, but this episode kind of follows on from episode 3, obviously. So from the opening scene, we see that relationship between Mando and Baby Yoda build a little bit more. They're in the ship, he's pushing the buttons, Baby Yoda's pushing the buttons, and Mando's going, don't do that. And he's just like, he's pushing the buttons, and he has to pick him up and put him on his lap as he's driving the ship. Just good, wholesome family fun.
Such a feel-good opening to the episode. It was beautiful, and I love that we got more and more Baby Yoda in this episode.
He stole the show a little bit in this episode for me.
He did. There were times where other characters were talking, and I completely tuned out.
Zoned out on everything except Baby Yoda for I think the good first half of the episode.
He's just too cute, and he needs to cut it out because I can't concentrate. I just can't get over his big eyes and his little ears.
I love it. He's just breaking the internet.
He really is.
Breaking hearts all over the world.
They knew what they were doing.
Oh, yeah.
They're just
Boy,
thinking
did they know what they were doing.
They're like, ooh, merchandise is going to go crazy.
Okay, I see your porgs and I raise you a Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
So basically, they're trying to get away and find this planet to kind of settle down. Because obviously they're being hunted now. So Mando's trying to find a planet where they can settle down and hide Baby Yoda. You know, far away from like the reaches of, you know, the bounty hunters and all that. So they find this planet in the middle of nowhere. They land. Goes to kind of get a drink and suss stuff out. Again, like kind of another cute moment where he's like, stay in the ship. And Baby Yoda's like, nothing. Just kind of waddles along with him. He's like, fine. So they go into town and get a drink and stuff. And they meet Cara Dune, played by Gina Carano from Deadpool. You might remember her from Deadpool. Who's an ex-shock trooper for the Rebellion. So we get a bit more kind of backstory into what happened after the battle for Endor and the destruction of the second Death Star. So there was a bit of a cleanup after that. The Rebellion was sending in like shock troops to kind of clean up the remnants of the Empire. Didn't do a very good job though. They're still hanging around. So they get into a bit of a scuffle, and then they kind of sit down. They kind of have a bit of a chat. They move on. He's going to his ship, and we meet some of the locals, who we also know from the beginning of the episode had been getting raided by these kind of alien-looking dudes.
And then, so they're shrimp farmers.
Shrimp farmers,
and I really liked how they made the shrimp all blue. It was just another cool little Star Wars touch. That was a really nice little scene.
But there was like these laser blasts coming from the forest, and we didn't really know where it was coming from. Because we saw like the aliens run out and raid the village, but they didn't really have any laser blasters. So we're like, oh, okay. We found that a little bit later, but we'll get to that in a minute. So he goes back to his ship, and then some of the farmers, the locals, approach him and we're like, hey man, we're getting raided here. You reckon you can lend us a hand? You're a Mandalorian. This is what you do. But they don't quite have enough money. But Mando overhears that he might be able to get some free lodging. You know, just some free accommodation. So it's like, okay, we might take you up on the offer.
Because, as we know, he's got a bounty on his head, as well as the baby, so...
He needs to kind of hide out.
He needs to hide out.
Yeah. So he enlists the help of Cara Dune, and they go to the village. They kind of suss out what's happening. They realise no one there knows how to fight. They're all useless. Except the chick. The chick knows how to shoot a gun or two. How convenient. And a bit of a romance kind of started up there, you know.
Yes, this mama wants some deadly.
Doesn't even know what he looks like, but she wants it.
Oh, she's trying though. She
was trying.
And actually, that was interesting. We started to get a bit more insight into the into him and the last time he didn't wear the Mandalorian helmet.
Which was when he was like 10 years old.
Yeah, so, and it is very much I think a personal thing and a cultural thing. Maybe even argue a religious thing.
Yeah, almost.
That they don't show their faces. And yeah, so we've learned that, he doesn't show his face to anyone in public. And if they do, he can't come back.
He can't put it back on.
He can't put it back on.
Yep, so some more kind of, again, just diving into the lore of the Mandalorians. Been loving that. And so, yeah, they train up these kind of villagers, these farmers, to kind of defend themselves. And so they find out that these raiders have an ATST from there. And we all know those from the original trilogy. They're the Imperial Walkers. And then we find out they have an ATST. And they don't want any part of that. They're like, guys, look, this is fucked.
Yeah.
Okay? we can't deal with this. We don't have the resources.
Are we swearing on this channel?
I think we're swearing.
I think we've just dropped our first F-bomb, ladies and gentlemen.
Bring up the tally. The F-bomb tally.
Moving on.
So, yeah, they're like, okay, look, this is an ATST, this is an Imperial Walker, we don't have the resources to deal with this. And they're like, no, we're not leaving, we're staying, we're fighting. And they're like, okay, we're going to train you up. So they train them up, there's like a training montage.
Dun, dun, dun,
Dun-dun-dun.
Pew, pew. Sorry.
And they, eventually have to they put their plan into motion. So, Cara Dune and Mando go to where the raiders are hiding. I think they're just trying to kind of lure them out.
They've set up a trap.
Yep, they set up the trap and they're going to lure them out. So they do that, and then we get our first sight of this ATST. And I've got to say, I don't think I've seen those ATSTs look as menacing and as deadly as in this. Like, in the original trilogy, like, they held their own, like, they were pretty, intimidating. But then they got, taken down by the Ewoks. But this had like red glowing eyes almost. It was almost like it was alive. It had red glowing eyes.
Yeah.
This looked demonic, and it was like just crushing through this dark forest.
Yeah, and I think I said as soon as that shot came, I was like, oh, I'm getting real T-Rex Jurassic Park vibes with this.
And then you found out who directed the episode.
And then we found out who directed it. It was Bryce Dallas Howard. So now I'm wondering, was that intentional? Because that stomping through the forest like that looked very similar to some shots in Jurassic Park. And there was another shot, I think...
intentional?
Yeah, I don't know. There was another shot that reminded me of it too. And I was like, I wonder if this is homage or what.
Yeah, could be. But yeah, they're getting chased down by this ATST. And I love it. I love how they made the ATSTs just feel like real intimidating and menacing again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it comes crashing out of the forest. The red glow in the eyes, just into the darkness and coming through the forest I fucking love that.
That would be...
Second F-bomb, put it on the counter.
Sorry, kids.
And then, they start to put their plan into motion. So they've dug out this kind of trench, this like watery kind of trench, and they're trying to kind of get the ATST to step into it. But it ain't buying the bait. They're a little bit more switched on than your average brain dead raider. So they kind of have to, kind of lure it in. So Cara Dune goes in and baits it. It steps in. They throw a bomb in the window, blow it up. And it's a cool little action scene. Like, I think the action in this series so far has been really, really good, been handled really well.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I love that. And then afterwards, they kind of like, we won. They're kind of celebrating. And then we see a bounty hunter in the forest.
Yeah.
And he's got Baby Yoda in his scopes. I'm like, you better not kill Baby Yoda.
No!
I was like, surely not.
No.
Sure, they're not going to do it.
They couldn't.
And you know they're not going to. But there is that little inkling where you're like, oh my God, it's right in his head. How are they going to get out of it?
Ryan Johnson didn't direct this episode, did he? Subvert expectations. Just kill Baby Yoda, fourth ep. Love you, Ryan. But no, Cara Dune saves the day.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Could you imagine the carnage? Shooting a little Baby Yoda in front of the children.
Won't somebody please think of the children?
So no, Cara Dune gets to him first. Shoots him in the back. Cold-blooded. But Mando kind of realizes that it's not safe for Baby Yoda. They know where he is. They can track him.
And he was all for leaving him there and saying, this is a good home.
He was going to leave him there. He thought, this is a good home for little Baby Yoda. He's happy here.
Yep.
He even gets an invite. Yeah,
yep.
he gets an invite to the party, but he's like, it's not my thing.
Yep.
So they go back to the ship and they leave.
Because they've tracked them now. They're onto them.
So now it's like, where do they go from here? Are they... No matter where they go, are they going to be safe anywhere? Or they're constantly going to be on the run?
Because they did say this place was in the middle of nowhere. Well, they've still managed to find them in the middle of nowhere. So maybe we're going to find out who exactly is tracking, how they're tracking them, and
Maybe we get a little bit more on that. Yeah. But no, I really liked this episode. It's a bit of a change of tone and pace. Look, I do think it is the weaker of the four so far, but only because the bar's been set so high.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, I think I've liked this episode the most.
Okay.
And that was a good action scene.
Yeah. Oh, great action scene. Look, I only say this because the other eps just set the bar so high, like so high.
Honestly, every episode for me is on par.
On par?
Like, I just...
Okay.
Look, maybe it was just because we got more Yoda in this one that I was...
You were there for it,
I was like, this one's better because we saw him more. I don't know.
I think I just love the tone of the first three.
Yeah. This one was a little bit more lighthearted. I think maybe because we saw some potential love interests, could you say?
It felt like an old school episode of like Stargate SG-1 or something where they just rock up to this world and it's like it's almost like it felt like a very episodic. Like every episode they go on this mission and it's got like a beginning, middle, end.
Yeah. It's like there's a storyline within this episode that starts and
but it
wraps
kind of
up.
pushes the overall storyline a little bit forward as well.
So you've still got this underlining mission that will continue into other episodes. But they're wrapping these episodes up nicely.
Yeah, it felt like an old school episode of SG-1, where they go to this planet and they help like the locals, local, farmers.
But moving on to the mission ahead. That we were
exactly.
On.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I did like that, and just everything's just on point. Like we can't fault this so far.
And if you can, please let us know, like, if there is something that you don't like, because I'd be really interested to know and prove you wrong.
We're always up for debate.
Yeah.
Let us know if there is anything that you guys, didn't quite like with this episode. Let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, slam that like button, subscribe to our channel for more. Press the bell for the notifications, because we are reviewing every episode of The Mandalorian one by one, so you want to stay up to date for that. But most importantly of all, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.